Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of predictions from simple experiments. This is standard 7.6H in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 35, which is a new item type called drag and drop, off the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, so we've got two different statements we need to figure out at the bottom here, and you notice it says that each answer may be used more than once, right? So I could use more than likely uh, in both if I wanted to, right? And if I just try to submit one and go next, it is going to give me that error message. This is a 2-point problem, one for each statement. So let's figure out how we can get both points on this one. What are we dealing with here? We got number of games in a basketball team's total score, each within 5 ranges, right? So your total score is kind of hitting between these ranges. Looks like we've got ranges of 10 here, and we're going to make some predictions about the number of points that each team will score in its next game. So they just did this random sample, and let's see how many we have altogether, right? So we've got 19 and 21, right? So that's 40. 19 and or 17 and 3 is another 20. Add that right there. 10 is going to be 30. All right, so we've got, 70 total games. That's a huge sample size here. So it's kind of hard to make predictions if you've only played 5 games, but 70 games is a lot. Okay, so scoring 96 to 105 points in the next game is, and then more than likely, less than likely, equally as likely. Well, if we wanted to get technical, this is what we could do, right? We could figure out some percentages, right? We can convert these to percents. 96 to 105, right? So this is going to be, 19 out of 70 is, the probability of choosing that just based, on this real world experiment here. But that would be very messy. We don't have a calculator. We don't necessarily need to, calculate the actual percentage because really, since they're all going to have the same denominator of 70, we could just look as the number of games. So we could just compare those, right? So 19 to 105, right, is going to be this 19 out of 70 fraction. And then we've got the 136 to 145, right? So that's, look at that, 3 out of 70, because that's the highest range, and you can see that they only did that 3 times. So that's going to be 3 out of 70. So then we just, compare. Is 19 out of 70, greater than, less than, or equal to, right? We can easily say, all right, same denominator, so we can easily compare. It's going to be greater than. So we can kind of translate that greater than into a more likely than, right? So since it's greater than, much more likely to do that one uh, than less than, or, equally. There's nothing that's equal because I don't see the same number popping up twice. So if we wanted to, right, we could go ahead and just kind of cross that one out. We're not going to really use equally as likely. So let's do this next one, 116 to 125, right? So that's going to be a 17 out of 70. And then we got the 106 to 115. Ooh, that's 21 out of 70. So 21 out of 70. And then comparing these two, right? 17 out of 20 is, it's less than. Not by much, not nearly as much as that 19 and 3, but it is less than. So they are going to be less likely than. Let's make sure we've got more likely than is that greater than for the first one. Less likely than is going to be that less than for the second one. Those two are our answers.